Welcome back, Bravehearts. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf, and this is the Doc of Detox show, and I'm with my friend Erai from Conscious Vitality. And you know what? There's nothing better than bringing on another Braveheart, and I mean Braveheart. Today you're going to hear about something new, innovative, and you know what they said, right? Okay, the world's never going to be the same again. Well, I don't really know if I ever wanted it to be the same as it was, because it wasn't that good to begin with, and that's the God's truth. People who hate change will say, oh my God, I hate change. Well, guess what? I love change. I embrace change. And he's going to show you something about change, about money, and what we're going to be doing in the future, and how the future is going to be running. You know what? You don't have to say yes to anything you don't want, but you're going to have to embrace change, because the world's always going to change. Because unless we're growing, we're barely existing. What do you think, Erai?
Yeah, I agree with you, Darrell. And, you know, what I've really loved about your work is how empowering you are to people. I personally have watched your shows and, you know, tuned into you and said to myself internally all the positive words you've given me. I reflect afterwards on how, you know, I might have a negative self-voice. I might have allowed myself to not be loved and have sought attention from others through your work. And the thing about Darrell's work is it's a super powerful voice. And these powerful voices that are uplifting people, we've seen now more than ever before in human history over the past few years, they can get removed off the internet like that. Right? Unfortunately, that's the truth. And so what we've been working on at Conscious Vitality is to create a platform for the first time ever made for humanity, made for the freedom of humanity on the blockchain. And I know a lot of you watching this right now have heard about the blockchain. You've probably heard of Bitcoin and Ethereum and these different kinds of cryptocurrencies. Well, what we've made is a platform now where content creators like Darrell Wolf will never have to worry, not that they would, not that Darrell would worry about anything, but about getting removed or censored ever again. It'll actually be, for the first time in human history, an unhackable, uncensorable platform where, you know, Facebook right now arbitrarily could change their minds, you know, change their opinions and limit Darrell's enormous reach, right? If you look at this page right now, there's more than 198,000 people that have liked this page from all over the world. And unfortunately, I would guarantee you right now that they're not letting, you know, more than 25%, 30% probably of those people know about these kinds of transmissions.
Well,
and
it's not even that. Just so everybody knows, is that we were getting 1,000 new likes a day 2 years ago, and now we're getting 4 a week. Yeah, so they're limiting it, right? So the last 2 years has been a huge wake-up call for a lot of us. We've recognized for the first time, maybe not you, but for most of us, for me, in our lives, that there's a lot of censorship. What we didn't realize was how minute and behind the scenes and sneaky it was over the past 10 plus years. The last 2 years, it became very evident when they started turning people's pages off, deleting their fan bases, removing their content from the internet. So my wife and I, who couldn't be here today, Kalea, I love you very much, amor, and I co-founded a platform called Conscious Vitality. And over the past year and a half, we've built it for content creators like Darrell Wolf. We want him to be empowered financially so that he can continue his work. We want his content to be able to exist permanently. No government, no big tech, no politician that ever disagrees with his opinion should ever have the ability to silence his message. And then finally, this year, what's happening in March or April is we'll be launching our very own blockchain digital cryptocurrency. It's called Zadkiel coin. And what that'll do is that'll empower Darrell so that financially he can thrive and be empowered the rest of his life. No one will ever be able to censor him financially, even if they wanted to. No longer are banks involved. We're actually fundamentally changing humanity forever, and Darrell will be able to sell whatever he wants, whenever he wants, to whomever he wants, and he'll be able to speak his messaging. And let's understand something. You know, he's talking about one little piece of the puzzle, all right? Because I'm going to tell you something. When you're born into a world that is a slave planet, you think when you're given a little bit of freedom that you're free. Understand something. The people that are shutting us down on Facebook have always been here. People don't even know what the word freedom even means, okay? We think freedom means, okay, still paying incredible amounts of taxes, okay? We think freedom means drinking poisonous water, eating poisonous food, having the media poison our minds continually. That's what we think freedom is. We think freedom is the love that we give ourselves and our family, which is not freedom. Okay? People are so far off the word freedom, they haven't got a clue. And understand something. You know when they said the world will never be the same again, welcome to the new world? Well, guess what? I am welcoming it with everything. Because guess what happens? People have to be pushed to the edge where their business is going to crumble, their relationships are going to crumble before you can even crack the coconut to get them to look that they need to change. We need to change here, or we'll never see it out here. You need to love this first and foremost before you can love anything else. And understand something, the world is never going to be totally free. Because this is planet Earth and it is a bloody planet prison, but I'm not suffering. I'm not suffering because it's a prison. I know the name of the game, and the reality is this: if you don't master, fear, if you don't master every day risking something new, and this is why you have to listen to Erai. You have to listen to something new. You know what you do every time you hear something new? No, don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. You know what? Everything that's new, you need to sit on it and you need to let it simmer like a good stew. And understand something. What if you were to change 1% of yourself every day? Wow, where would you be in 100 days? Well, you'd start all over again. Because guess what? The universe is growing. And if we don't grow with the universe, then we're going to not even be on this planet.
It's awesome. Yeah. And so for the first time in human history, imagine we have a platform that government, big tech, politicians, people cannot censor. They can't hack into it. They can't stop the signal anymore. And now we have a financial tool that the banks aren't involved with, the governments aren't involved with, the credit card companies aren't involved with. And as these two things interact, actually for the first time in our human history, we'll be able to communicate in our own social media, online platforms, and we'll be able to thrive because there will be no censorship happening whatsoever. And although, to Daryl's point, he believes this is a prison planet, within this prison planet, we'll be able to take back control of the greatest level of freedom we may ever have actually had for humanity.
Well, I believe, he doesn't believe, but that's okay, because I'll tell you why. Let me tell you something. You know what? Try to go get your money out of the bank. Try to go and move around. Try to have freedom of movement. You're not going to have it. They've always isolated our movement, not for the good of us. It was for the good of them. Yeah. So the reality is this. This is just one step. Okay? Understand this. You know what? There is a divine that created the whole universe. And then, just as there's a divine that created the whole universe, there will always be a psycho, sick, elite portion that will always be here trying to run us and market us and then treat us like a herd and then what? Farm us out. One piece at a time. So understand that. But I love this planet.
Yeah.
I know the rules. I know that they've always been in control of the government, the medical system, the food, the water, air, everything else. But guess what? That was to make you rise. Just think, if you didn't have something, a conflicting force, you'd get lazy. Oh, well, we already have. And the reality is this, you need something to spur you on to grow. And why is it that a human being, until they have a disease, until someone's dying in the family, we never change? Well, guess what? Whether you believe this or not, I think this whole COVID thing, whether you believe it or not, was one of the greatest things to happen. And then you're going to go, he's so cruel. My father died of COVID. No, he died of the cold or the flu. And he also didn't know how to create the perfect day for himself on a financial level, an emotional level, or a physical level. So guess what? He burnt out, because it's all about energy. So what if we were be able to move money around, and create more wealth with people and be able to get more truthful information out there, and they can't stop it anymore. Well, guess what? The tide is changing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is part of it. This is part of it. This is a piece. And your whole life is like a puzzle, and you got to get this piece, and you got to get this piece, and you got to get this piece. But understand something. None of us would have lived to our full potential this go around unless the psycho elite came gunning for us, because that woke us up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where are we going to go with this?
Well, would you like to show them the trailer that we've got?
I'd love to show them the trailer.
Yeah, awesome. Let's hit it.
Let's pull in the trailer.
If the self-discipline of the free cannot match the iron discipline of the mailed fist in economic, political, scientific, and all the other kinds of struggle, as well as the military, then the peril to freedom will continue to rise.
In light of any emergency, your personal autonomy, your religious freedom, and honestly your freedom as a whole becomes negotiable to whoever's in power or whoever agrees with the people in power.
For some reason, we seem to be losing as a country an appreciation for diversity in intellectual thought.
Imagine a world where humanity was able to share its voice without censorship.
Does Twitter censor the content of its users?
Absolutely not.
They can just eviscerate you, from their platform, and you don't have any rights in that situation.
Free speech is the mechanism by which we keep our society functioning.
And without big corporate influence.
They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous.
You have no choice. You have owners. They own you.
Now is the time to take back our freedom. Freedom of truth, speech, health, evolution, consciousness, and discovery. We have a plan to save the world, to save humanity. What if there was a platform for freedom? A platform for all voices, and a platform for unity. Unhackable, uncensored. This signal can't be stopped. Just imagine the possibilities for the world. Because together, we win. Welcome to Conscious Vitality, the first ever blockchain platform designed for the freedom of humanity and backed by our very own circular economy, a new type of currency designed to empower contributors with true freedom of speech. Zadkill. As the archangel of freedom, of justice, and forgiveness, Zadkill fights against the dark forces to help humanity free itself. And now our new circular economy will help content creators share their voice freely while getting compensated. Members buy Zadkill, use it on the Conscious Vitality blockchain platform, and creators receive Zadkill. The more it's used, the higher the value, and the more freedom of speech thrives. Could this be the plan to save the world? It's one of them. Expand your consciousness. Awaken your vitality. Freedom of information and all of the abundance that will come from us is truly uniting. Start your journey today.
Okay, so why don't you break that video down into a nutshell? So, because there's people that are visual, then there's people that are auditory, and why don't you just tell them what they just saw?
Thanks, Daryl. Yeah, so what you guys just saw was that we've built a new ecosystem. We call it the circular economy. Content creators like Daryl Wolf can share with you the videos, just like these live streams he's doing right now on Facebook. You guys can follow his page or his group just like you would on Facebook. And in the future, you guys will be able to buy the new cryptocurrency Zadkill. Conscious Vitality will share those profits with content creators like Daryl Wolf and the other creators on the platform. And that will become a brand new circular economy, absolutely impenetrable, unhackable, uncensorable, and now freedom of speech, freedom for humanity can truly thrive without big tech or government influence.
Well, that's it right there. And you know what? And then they'll find a way to try to get in, and then we'll find a way to get out. Because like I said, it's always going to be like this. But listen, everybody, think about this just for 1 second. I'll just give it a thought, okay? If I was going to go to a movie, would you want to go to a movie that was just like monotone all the way through, or where everybody's lives were threatened and then there was a hero at the end, okay? And what we're trying to do is we're all trying to be heroes in this story. And you need to be a hero for yourself. So, embrace change as much as you possibly can, and don't react to things, just sit with them, do your research, do research on what Erai just said. Now, if I want more information, where do I go?
ConsciousVitality.com.
Okay, ConsciousVitality.com. So this is going to become the new world. And understand something, it's like this. We all have choices every day on what we do. So you got to remember something right now. It's all about bringing up your frequency. It's all about enlightening yourself. Okay, so what are you holding on to that you can let go, that's old, that on a personal level, whether it be financially, emotionally, physically, to move forward? So embrace new ideas, because this is the future, what they're doing. It's taken a lot of work, and they're the first of their kind, okay? So, that's great, first man out, but first man out has to spend a lot of money, take a lot of risk, right? That's what we do. And that's what makes it fun. Remember, this is a fun-filled, life-threatening adventure as long as you know the rules, right?
Yeah, I love that statement from you. You nailed it.
Yeah.
Fun-filled. I've been laughing at that for a long time because it helps you laugh at what life's genuinely like. But it's true. What Daryl shares with you guys is badass. Daryl's, in my opinion, I love Daryl's work because his messaging really will help you to become a badass, braveheart lion.
Yeah, because you got to get to the point that you do not care about the villains. Stop talking about them. Stop focusing on them. Stop talking about how they have a chokehold, because what is your chokehold? Find out what your personal chokehold is, and you'll find out that you're stuck, okay? And what can't you let go? And then you would be probably also constipated, so you maybe want to get some of my daily cleansing tea.
Those are good. Those are really good caps. Yeah, those are really good caps. I got some of those in Canada about a year and a half ago. Wow, they work really well.
So who are all the different people that are on your show?
So far, the platform right now has people like yourself, has people like Laura Eisenhower, people like Sasha Stone, people like Aaron Abke. We have a whole suite of people that are into health, wellness, yoga, meditation. We're also an uncensored platform, so if people want to talk about aliens, or if they want to talk about astrology, or if they want to talk about alternative methods of healing, they can share and explore whatever it is that they're interested in. Ultimately, whatever you're interested in. We will not censor the content. All we do is we don't allow bullying, we don't allow any racism, and we actually have recently had requests for people to be proactive Satanists, and we've added that now to the list of topics that we just don't allow on the platform. I didn't know I would have to add that one over to a list of censored topics, but it turns out there you have it. So Satanism, racism, and bullying, that's it. Otherwise, you guys are free to express your opinions. For example...
So, in other words, no isms.
Yeah.
No isms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as an example, Daryl has shared some stuff on Conscious Vitality that I have had people reach out to me that they felt has completely and totally changed their lives. We've been able to have doctors and scientists that are afraid of being outspoken on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter because they feel they'll lose their careers right now, right? Whereas within Conscious Vitality, in an uncensored, fully encrypted, on the blockchain platform, they can say whatever they want. They don't have to worry about any whiplash or backlash from society. They don't have to worry about losing their careers. You guys can explore these topics and hopefully find the solutions that you want for yourself, your family, and your loved ones.
Yeah, and you know what a lot of people are doing right now? They're going, what can I do, okay, with my life right now? Because they've lost their jobs or they feel their jobs are threatened. The whole way of life is changing. Do you know what happens when you have a whole world that is constipated up here, okay, all right? They have to blow out, okay? And that's called COVID. And that's the blowout, okay? That's to get things moving again. And that's what it's about, get things moving on a physical, emotional, spirit level. And that's all this is about. So let me ask you a question. What could you do to touch the heart of 1 million people? Don't ask yourself, how am I going to make a living? We'll always make a living. But what do you want? We don't want to make a living. We want to thrive. We want to be alive. So ask yourself what your gift is, what you can gift everybody that you meet today and actually get paid for it, because we all should be paid for gifting people. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to go to work. You want to go to giving and gifting. And what can you give of yourself? What is your talents? And understand something. This new world, they're not going to be heavy consumers, okay? They're not going to be heavy consumers. They're going to want to not get consumed anymore, okay, by all this toxicity out there. They're going to want to start investing in themselves. So what could you do online? What could you create online? And then then you could put it on Erai's channel, on Conscious Vitality. What could you do that's online that could help your brothers and sisters around the world? Listen to me. I'm going to tell you, the first time that I ever did a live, okay, I was scared. And then I made mistakes. And I go, oh, I erased that. And I'll go back and erase that. Now I don't care, because guess what? When I make mistakes, which is every day, I show everybody else that they can do it. And understand, anybody can be a Daryl Wolf. Anybody can be an Erai. You can do it anytime you want. You've got to get rid of your fear, and you've got to have faith in yourself. And you know what? There are no mistakes. There's just repetition until you perfect something. And then once you perfect it, you're going to go find something else you can screw up for a while until you perfect that. And that's what we do. So get rid of sinner syndrome, get rid of the failure-isms, and because there is no failure, it's just repetition. You know why I know this? Because guess what? The psycho-elite, I have to whisper this, they've been practicing this for thousands of years, and they're getting better at it. And the problem is that we forget, we get lazy, we don't strategize. Have you ever strategized your day? Have you ever looked at what a perfect day would look like for you? If you were connected to your breath, you had a slight smile, walking around no matter what bombs went on. And let me tell you something, mind your own business. Your own business is learning how to love, honor, respect yourself more than anyone else or anything else, so that you can become what you need to become, an authentic spirit being, so that you can shine that light on your family and you don't go around crapping your drawers. So that's what all of this is about. This is about a new frontier. This is a new frontier. And you can embrace it or not embrace it, but then you're going to get left behind, and then you're going to just think that nobody loves you, and there's no way out of this. Or you can embrace every new frontier. Because whether you believe it or not, yes, I have to make money, so does Erai, but the reality is look what we're selling. Why don't you take a look at what people are selling and ask, hey, what will that do for me if I bought into that? Well, you bought into a lot of crap, didn't you? Take a look at your family. 1 out of 2 have cancer. 1 out of 2 have heart disease, okay? 92% of the population have an autoimmune disease, which means we're attacking ourselves first here, and then our body attacks us. So start making wiser choices and say, what is this person selling to me? They're selling me opportunity. And that's right. And you got to understand, you always had a choice, okay? You always had a choice. And I know that you were programmed from the time you got in your mother's womb, but we don't have to go all the way to the tomb with it, do we? What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. I love your messaging. I think you're bang on, man. You talk a lot about the programming that we've gone through. You point out to people, on a platform like this, the one that we're on right now, what's happening and the intention that actually occurred from the outset of creating these. And that's not something a lot of us knew. A lot of us didn't know that the AI bots were going to be slowly but surely working to figure out who was in alignment with the messaging they wanted, and who wasn't. And to allow those that to grow that are in their club, and to censor and limit the reach and exposure for those like yourself that aren't.
Don't worry, Erai. It's all going to pan out. Do you know why it's going to pan out? Because it's going to pan out like it always does.
Yeah.
And what's that meaning? It means this. Until enough people die and enough people cry and enough people are in pain and they're on their knees going, God help me. And then we're going to say, get off your knees. You need to help yourself. And that's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
Okay, so understand, the whole thing is a ruse. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody. There's no Trump pet coming, okay? There's no of these other things that people say that are coming. So understand, you need to come up. You need to grow up. You need to show up and understand something, everyone. I used to be scared. And the one thing that I do is as soon as I smell anything of fear, I just go, 3, 2, 1, I got this. And that's it. And that's all I do. And I stay focused. What if you were to be selfish enough to focus on only what you want, your dreams? What if you did that? What if you didn't kowtow to everybody's emotional up and down and all around? What if you only focused on your goal, your dream? Well, that would tell your family that they could do it too. You know what? What are we told all the time? Stop being so selfish, right? Well, I'll tell you something right now. The only person that's going to tell you you're selfish is the person that says, I need you to be like me. And you don't be like anybody. You need to be like yourself. You need to find your Braveheart roar. And that means you're going to have to get off of Netflix, prime time. That means you're going to have to stop watching so many sports. I mean, think about it. You'll always know where a person's going to go and what they're going to do by what they do with their spare time. And look at the 5 people they hang around with, and then you know the answer. You know if that person's going to either rise and go inside and become their authentic self or not. And I know, guess what? At the beginning, we're all scared. But once you start doing what other people don't do and you go, wow, I'm still alive. I'm not in jail. They didn't shoot me. They didn't attack me. And listen, if they want to come after someone, they're going to come after you or me. So don't worry. I'm your litmus paper test. Okay? So if I'm still here and breathing, there's a very good chance that you haven't even started. Okay? So why don't you just find your little meow, then your roar, and then you'll find out that you're so much more. And that's what we're talking about with this platform. So let's know this. If all the old platforms that we were doing were so good, then why do we feel like it's the end of the world? Well, it's not the end of the world. It's the end of this world. I mean, the medical system will never be fixed. It'll always be corrupt. Food corporations will always try to poison you. The water will always have chloride and fluoride in it. Okay, they'll continually spray the skies, okay? But understand something. You can take your life back by just connecting to your breath, putting a slight smile on your face, and start going through your cupboards in your fridge and your bathroom, and then start making your home a love zone, a health zone. But first you got to work on you. So that means you're going to have to be selfish enough to stop thinking that the more people you help and the more you suffer for your family when they suffer, that it's not working. So you're going to have to wake up. Wake up to the fact that you need to learn how to love, honor, respect, and protect yourself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else, and even your family. God, wouldn't it be great if there was a Braveheart hero in every family that said, no, we are not going to cry about the same thing. No, we are not going to try to do the same thing and think we're going to get a different result. And that's what Erai's saying. Let's look and do things differently. And let's use the technology that they're using against us to create a better world.
You nailed it. You nailed it. You know, there's been some speculation that blockchain was created by the NSA, by the CIA, who knows what, to basically get out ahead of the technological advancement and evolution so that they can ultimately have one more thing that we really get involved in and that they control. But whether that was the initial intention or not, what's happened is it's backfired if that was the intention, because the blockchain has now gotten to a point where it will create greater freedom, abundance, and prosperity for humanity than ever before, and they literally can't stop it. Like when your content goes on Conscious Vitality, Daryl, and it's on the blockchain, not only can't it be hacked, not only can't it be censored, it's actually permanently out there. It can't actually be removed forever.
So let's talk about this, okay? How many times in your life did you feel you couldn't go on, and then around the corner there was an answer? What if we just connected to our breath? You know, what would have happened if Erai and his beautiful wife hit a couple of stumbling blocks? Well, which I know they did. Financially, stress-wise, attacks. What if they gave up? What if they gave up? What if you didn't give up anymore? What if you didn't give up anymore and you looked for things that were high vibrational and you just went for it? And you didn't care what your family thought. You didn't care what the world thought. That's what they did. They didn't care what anybody thought because they were the first kids on the block. And to be the first kids on the block, I mean, for me, that's exciting. Only because that's what I do now. I like to be the first kid on the block, and I like that excitement. You know what? Here's the deal. When something new comes, stay connected to your breath. You have a choice, and it happens in 1 second. You can go to anxiety or excitement. Did you know that the adrenaline that you're pumping when you is the same adrenaline you're pumping when you have anxiety and excitement. It's just that one has a smile and one has a different outcome. And the one will kill you, and the one will actually boost you. You only have 1 second though. That's why we do this. 3, 2, 1, I got this. I'm not going into my subconscious, staying here conscious. Because guess what? Every time something new comes up, did you know that 99.9% of the population, when something new comes up, they go into fear right away. And it could have saved their life. And all they had to do was connect to their breath. So understand, embrace this. Go to consciousvitality.com and then take a look at that whole system. And yes, there's going to be things on there, especially people that are religious. Oh, aliens, wouldn't want to talk about them. Hey, guess what? I got news for you. I'm an alien. I'm not from this planet, because my spirit had to come down to be infused into a physical body. So I'm an alien too, so don't watch this show either. So the reality is you know, you can decide on how you want to expand your mind like the universe, or you can keep it in a nice little tight box, okay, and then you can go around judging everybody. So, but the reality is that's not a lot of fun either, is it? Okay? So try to expand your mind like the universe and allow new things to come in. And if they kind of shock you, just go and smile and just keep breathing and see how it is and just allow it. You know what? Some of the greatest things in this planet, here's A, and they're all the way over here at Z. And you know what? We'll never get to experience them, because the mind's programmed to only keep in the what? In the things that are prominent and dominant. And when 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, we know what their prominent, dominant beliefs are. They're unworthy. They're not enough. They're not deserving, right? Well, that better change today.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. So here's part of the change. So what else can they do? Tell them.
Yeah, you can just head on over to consciousvitality.com. If you'd like, you can start a free trial. Daryl has a regular show there. We have a number of other content creators that are making regular content on the platform. We have a private social media platform that you guys can actually become friends with people like Daryl and the other content creators, and you can message them directly. You can trust now for the first time ever that your communications are totally private. No one's going to know what they are, and you can just check it out by starting a free trial. And then stay tuned to your email, because as the blockchain comes out, as the new cryptocurrency Zadkiel coin comes out, there'll be more opportunity. Zadkiel, the archangel.
Okay.
Yeah, Zadkiel, like Michael.
Yeah.
Chomiel was harder to pronounce. So we went with Zadkiel. He's actually, in Christianity and Judaism, he stands for freedom, justice, and forgiveness for all of humanity.
Boom, I love that one.
Archangel.
Yes.
He's the archangel. So what we're actually going to be doing, Daryl, is you know the game that's being played better than most that are out there. And so you know that one of the biggest reasons, they don't care what the distraction tactic is that they're going to throw out today, whether it's squirrel, COVID, war with Russia.
Oh no, climate change. Which isn't true. I have somebody coming on, and he's a historian. He's going to prove that climate change isn't real. What is real?
Yeah, so they'll distract with whatever they can, but I think you know, I know this because I've listened to your shows, you know why they do it, because they know the power of the law of attraction. They know the power of the mind, and they know that if they can freak you guys out, like Daryl tells you every day, that they can distract you, which will actually cause you unknowingly to manifest the very chaos that they want, so they can take advantage of the fear and control through that fear. So with Zadkiel coin, yeah, most people probably get involved because getting involved in a new cryptocurrency when it comes out, historically, it's not been a bad idea. Most people will get involved for economic or financial reasons. But now check this out. If we can spread the image, the symbol of the archangel that actually already is responsible for freedom, justice, and forgiveness for humanity, the guy that already defeated Satan throughout the whole world, and now we can get hundreds of millions of minds focused on freedom, justice, and forgiveness for all of humanity, what will that create possibly for manifestation for humanity? It's all about the symbols. They've used them forever. It turns out they were just using it to our detriment because they thought we were so dumb, this is actually what they believe, that even if we knew about the law of attraction, even if we understood why they use symbology and symbolism and doing their fancy hand symbols in Vanity Fair and in their fancy fake magazines, we wouldn't even know how to use it. Well, guess what? We're flipping that script on them. And between you and I, although we are on Facebook and this could cause this, potentially video to get censored, I really hope we piss a lot of them off, because the person that they worship is defeated. They already know they're going to lose. We all feel right now that we win eventually. We just don't know how. Many of us believe we deserve a solution from the beyond now more than ever.
But here's the problem, though. We will win. And this is a spirit war. And what they're after is to snuff out the spirit, which is the light of the physical body. And if they can do that, you're going to, well, we know this. You're going to have a lot of friends and family that aren't going to make it on this run. They're not going to make it on this run. You either are going to bring up your light, you're going to bring up your vibration, you're going to change your focus, you're going to learn to have a filter, okay? Look at, why do you listen to a bully? Why are you scared of the bully? They're not in your home. They just threaten you. I'm going to come and get you. I'm going to come and get you. Well, come and get me. I'm enough. Come and get me. Okay? Enough. They're not coming to get us because guess what? You ready for this? Oh, you're going to love this one. They love the rotten fruit on the ground. They love the low-hanging fruit. And what would that be? That would the people doing this, the people doing this, the people that, you know what, they're so scared they can't make proper decisions. They're the people they're actually going to go for because they're too lazy to come and get us. Okay, but they will teach our brothers and sisters who are in the police or in the army or medical doctors or in the government. These are all systems, you know what? They have been working at this for hundreds of years. We got the military, we got the police, we got the government. Now we got people thinking that the medical system is actually health. We got them actually thinking that the food in the grocery store is actually good for them. What a bunch of morons, okay? Now it's time to harvest them. And that's all. It's just time to harvest us. I mean, think about it. Go take a walk to the mall or anywhere else where there's a lot of people and tell me that people aren't walking like the Walking Dead. Tell me that they're alert. They know what's going on around them. Tell me that they have a sparkle in their eye. Tell me they have a glow to their skin. Tell me that they look physically and emotionally well put together. Let me tell you something. What if we were to strategize as good as these other group strategize? They say there's around 20 to 50,000 of them and there's 7 billion of us. So seriously, you know what? I think I would call us morons too, wouldn't you? Okay. The reality is the day that you believe that you're not a failure, the day that you believe that you are more than enough, the day that you believe that you deserve everything beautiful, the day that you know that you are totally off the hook for everything you've ever done because you've always done your best, that's when you get to have the rest. So understand, again, I'm going to say it, this is a fun-filled, life-threatening game, and we're trying to learn how to play it. So where do they need to go? What do they need to do?
ConsciousVitality.com. Start a free trial. And if you have any further questions, you can email us, team@ConsciousVitality.com. But just stay tuned to your email because as more updates come regarding the March, April-ish launch of Zadkill coin, we'll let you know via email. You guys can figure out how to participate, and then we'll be making announcements after we've launched the new coin that empowers the freedom of humanity as we roll out this brand new blockchain platform for the freedom of humanity. Should be pretty fun.
Pretty fun, and that's what it's all about. Hey, you know what? Life is not about suffering, and suffering is not the way to the Lord. Thank you very much. And the reality is this. I have fun from the minute I get up until I go to bed, no matter what goes on in the world, because I mind my own business. Because if I didn't mind my own business, I wouldn't be able to be here for you or have Erai here or have a World Healing and Training Center with 220 rooms and then tell people to come and take all my trainings. I wouldn't have a library that's free, which is the most powerful library in self-help, care, and loving yourself on the planet, and it's free. So understand something. Mind your own business so that you can become your authentic self, so you can unleash your roar, and I want to be able to hear it no matter where you are around the world. And that's what it's all about. I mean, seriously, okay? Come together. Listen, first put yourself together. That's the first thing. Focus on yourself, and guess what will happen? That there'll be lights everywhere. Did you ever go to a concert? What are concerts? Oh, I remember what they were. Yeah, okay. Did you ever go to a concert and everybody would flick their Bic lighter? Well, let's get a Bic lighter, and that would be you all around the world. Let's get everybody lit up. That means that you're going to have to unconditionally, totally love yourself. Work with that one today. And then we'll take it from there. All right? And I'm not trying to be sarcastic, because guess what? Who better to love? Who better to have a great relationship with yourself? Because you can't give what you're not. You can't give what you're not. What would you like to leave them with?
That was it. That's it. That's awesome. I want to leave myself with that. And come check out Dr. Wolf's program here in Ixtapa, Mexico. He was showing me some of the equipment behind the scenes. Looks pretty awesome. I look forward to learning more about it. But thank you, Daryl, for having me here. Thanks for the awesome work you're doing. And thanks for the messaging that you share with people, because I know I've personally met a number of people that have traveled here from all over the world, and they're really excited. They're grateful that they were courageous enough to get involved. And it seems like the work that's happening here is changing people's lives.
Well, it better, because you know what? Because there's nothing better than to help to change someone's life. And you know how you help change someone's life? You help them fall in love with themselves for the first time that they can remember. That's what it's all about. We'll be having another course starting on February the 5th. It starts off with the Whole Life Coach course. It's 10 days. And then there's a day off, and then it goes to the Wolf Non-Surgical, which is 12 days. And we'll be running a course February, March, April, May. No, wait, sorry. February, March, none in April, but then again in May and June. So if you want to come down here and take our New World Practitioner course, go to newworldpractitioner.com. And if you want to come as a couple, and let's say you want to have a child, how would you like to have a child and have the healthiest child? How would you like to have the healthiest relationship with yourself and your spouse? We have what's called pain-free pregnancy, okay? And it goes from a year before you get pregnant into 2 years of the child. And I'll tell you something right now. How would you like to deliver in 30 minutes? How would you like to not have sore hips? How would you like to have no physical ailments or pain throughout the whole thing? And how would you like to know that your spouse actually was the hero that did the Wolf Non-Surgical, so you didn't get the scar tissue, you didn't get the crystallization, you didn't get the calcification? How would you like to know that the baby that's in your womb, that's in the core of your abdomen, isn't in the middle of a waste dump, that it's in the middle of the most nutritious temple in the world? That's what I'm talking about. Understand this. Show me a parent, show me two parents, okay, that have come together, that actually knew how to feed themselves and love themselves and each other, prepared to actually have a child. That's like a unicorn. You've been programmed. By the time you have a child, you don't know how to feed yourself, love yourself, or even look after a child. And I'm not putting anybody down. The game's rigged, but it stops today. Okay? It stops with me, it stops with Erai, and hopefully it's going to stop with you joining us and becoming a Braveheart and finding your roar. I'll be on tomorrow at 12 o'clock Central Time, and that's my New World Health Q&A. You can come on Zoom. You can challenge me any way you want. Okay? I'm here to be challenged. But before you do that, why don't you challenge yourself, and let's see if we can make 1% change every day for the next 100 days, and we'll have a new you. Okay? Now on Wednesday, I'm going to be at 12 o'clock Central Time. I'm going to be doing what's called the Greatest Reset. This is a 2.5-hour live masterclass, because first it was the Great Reset with Bill Gates and Soros and the rest of the clan. And then we have the Greater Reset, where we come together and talk about things, but there is only one reset, and it's right here. Unless you're going to reset here, it doesn't matter what else you do. Okay? Because unless you're going to change your brain, you're never getting off the pain train. Unless you change your personality, you're never going to change your reality. And if you don't understand that the psychological rules the biological and has created every bit of your life, no matter what it is on a physical or emotional scale, then we haven't even gotten past kindergarten yet. And it's not your fault. We got set up. But welcome to the greatest game in the universe, where you can become the hero of your story, your movie, okay? You need to be the leading star. Thank you for joining me. God bless. And just remember, 3, 2, 1, we got this, Bravehearts.
We got this. Love it. Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you. You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver? We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it.
Found Dr. Wolf and all his positivity and trying to reshape our way of thinking and help me be a better person, a better mom, better wife. I'm glad I found him in person in Ixtapa, Mexico.
Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited.
This guy's got something really interesting to say and he's sharing it really openly and we're just really not caring what other people think, and I just thought that was really empowering.
What I've learned in my life is this: to be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time.
Dr. Wolf, as many people will have seen, is very direct and straight and will take you to the edge of the cliff, as he says, and then pull you back just in time.
Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek, and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite.
He's a wealth of information, and I love it.
You were created by your creator to create. So let's create something amazing together.
I found Dr. Wolf and I went, wow, here's a truth speaker. And he spoke to my soul and he spoke truth.
So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. Understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the Whole Life Coach certification is all about. In the Whole Life Coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners, or even so-called whole life coaches, that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. and this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your lion heart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart, and we're going to become the spark that you seek.
And actually what I really love about Dr. Wolf's teachings is that unconditional love is literally it. And then you're like, how can it be that easy? That's just silly. So, but it's really not.
Come play, come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. Stick your toe in, feel the water, but then I want you to dive right in, because
how I found my brave heart was through Daryl. He really teaches you to go within and go in through your heart and not your mind, because your heart's a lot more connected to so much more than your mind. Your mind is just so conditioned, and your heart is just so open and beautiful.
you're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself, Braveheart. Let's take life in and win.
I had just lost my husband a couple of years ago. With his passing, he gave me the greatest gift to love myself. But Dr. Wolf gave me the greatest gift in understanding that.
I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch the world. Your dreams are never too big. And when they start to create a little bit of anxiety, turn them into excitement. And get excited, because this is your life.
He's the first doctor that I have encountered that has truly given me the truth, and not just half-truths, but the full truth. So it's been revolutionary for me in my healing process.
And this, my friend, when you take on the dream of all dreams, and you realize that if you stay connected to your breath, that you can have it all. Do not let anybody take your breath away. Do not let anybody steal your dream, okay? Listen, God gave you imagination. This is your sandbox of life. Take your life back. Right now, we are teaching courses to people that have come from all over the world, and the government is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line, because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar, because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you. Let me ask you a question. What do you think it would take to turn your life around? I can tell you right now, I learned that a long time ago, what the key was. And anybody that has been able to perfect the perfect day on an emotional, physical, and spirit level knows this. The answer is massive, personal action. That's what it's going to take for you to turn your life around. And to turn your life around, you're going to have to go within if you want to change without. And that's the bottom line. And you know, people think that they can do it like with a consultation, or maybe they can do it with a telephone call or a Band-Aid or a 911 emergency, a treatment. But understand, that's not the way it is. The day that you realize that when you master your mind is the only time you're going to master your body. Forget your life. That's always going to be just random luck until you know that you must become the master of your day. From the moment you rise until you gently close your eyes, you must be the only authority for you. And if you think that getting an hour consultation is going to do it, it's not. If you think that going for therapy is going to do it, it's not. You have to submerge yourself into what we would call the personal treatment and training. And you need to do that from anywhere from 6 days to 10 days, or you need to come for my whole life coach certification, because if you don't go in deep, you'll never make changes. They say it takes 10,000 times for you to repeat something before it becomes a prominent, dominant thought. And if you understood that 70 to 90% of all your thoughts are not yours, and they say that 70% of your thoughts are toxic, tell me they're not. Take a look at the majority of the population. 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means the body is attacking itself. Before that, though, the person was attacking themselves on a subconscious, unconscious level. And that, my friend, is the bottom line, and why you must take a personal treatment and training and go deep and understand how to run your life. What that means is learning how to think, how to drink, how to eat, and knowing when somebody is mistreating you, when someone is disrespecting you, because until you honor and respect yourself, no one else is going to do it. So understand, this is your life. If you want to live your passion and purpose, then you must become the master of your mind to become the master of your body so that you can become the light for your family. So please, consider this. You've got the time and you've got the money, because you're going to change the rest of your life for the rest of your life, and that's my guarantee to you.